So you want to learn how to not play the silent. Well, the first, quick and easiest way of doing it is to not pick that character. But that's not how we roll. In fact, we're going to talk about how not to play this character while playing it correctly. Because there's not really any wrong way to play except for dying. Ignore that happened. You see, the silent, they're really good at drawing cards. They also have access to poison and this special thing called shivs. And shivs are usually pretty good, but they also have this thing called discard, which goes hand in hand with drawing. You draw cards, you discard cards. It's just how it goes. If you watch my video on how not to play the defect, you know that the defect is stacked full of powers, while the silent is stacked full of skills. You're usually going to have a whole bunch of skills, similar to the way the ironclad would have a whole bunch of attacks. But because the silent has so much draw and discard, you can get a lot of energy depending on your build, and you can also get a whole bunch of draw, and you can just kind of cycle through a lot of stuff, allowing you to take a whole variety of cards. And the silent has some of the best powers in the game, I would say, like Wraith Form and After Image and Venom, and all these really powerful things that let you draw more cards, discard more cards, do more damage, take no damage. It's kind of intense. So if you just really enjoy playing a whole lot of cards in one turn, then the silent is perfect for that, because they're able to just play a whole bunch of cards and gain a whole bunch of energy if you build it right. But that also means the character is quite complex, because you're going to want to be able to manage your energy and your costs and the different cards you have, and how large your deck is, and what cards you want to discard, and what cards you don't want to discard, and it's just a whole lot to actually think about. But I don't like to think, I just like to play the game. I want to play the cards, and I want to play them all, because my little monkey brain says, "Ooh, play card, woo!" And don't even get me started on zero-cost cards. Deflects, oh, I love them. Shivs, they're the greatest, oh, you know me. Anything, neutralize, I like it. Anything with zero cost, my monkey brain goes, "Ooh, play card, it costs 0. When I play this silent, my brain sounds like this. Play it, zero cost, shit. Don't even get me started with poison decks, though. If you really want to lose on the silent, try to build in the poison. If you try to force a poison deck, you are guaranteed going to be losing. They just never work. It's so rare for a dedicated poison deck to do anything. Why would you ever take a deadly poison? I feel like it's a waste of a card. Well, what poison cards are actually useful? And Venom is good if you have a Shiv deck. Noxious Fumes is pretty okay. It's just like a bonus card, and then maybe like, I don't know, Crippling Cloud. That's actually not bad. And the reason you can't really force it is because the way you kill with a poison deck usually comes down to using catalysts or just having a lot of block. Don't get me wrong, catalysts are pretty strong. I mean, times 2 poison, times 3 poison is pretty wild if you stack some really quick, especially if you got like a nightmare catalyst, then now you're starting to cook. You know that whole like thing about how the defect is more power oriented? I'd like to flip that on its head for a second, because look at this Pandora's box I got. My silent run turned into just the craziest just power run at the end, where I had the Birdface urn, I was just healing all the damage I took in every fight. Just so many powers, it's ridiculous. And you might as well stop calling her the silent, because with the after images, this game got pretty loud. And of course I also get the unfortunate event of fighting the Time Eater. Of course I get to end up fighting the Time Eater, that's just my luck, but thankfully I could just outscale with Blur. So I basically had an infinite barricade like the Ironclad, but way more block than the Ironclad usually ever gets. But normally, the Time Eater kind of is going to kick your ass in this situation. You got a million powers to play? Well, too bad. You got to waste your turns for that. You got a million shivs? Too bad. That's like a death sentence. And it's just really bad, but I was able to powerhouse through it. I was too strong for him. And you remember my video last time about the defect? Well, I learned. I actually remembered to grab all the keys, which means I can actually fight the heart. But you know what's funny? This deck was incredibly powerful, and I thought it would be goofy to just take a Mayhem in the last shop. So, you know, I threw a Mayhem into the deck. I was like, alright, this seems kind of fun, but I have an Unload. And if I top deck Mayhem with an Unload, well, I kind of just lose all my cards, and I almost died because of that specific thing. But thankfully I didn't die, and I did take the win, which was my first win against the heart using the silent, so I was able to also unlock the beta art. So that's how to play not the silent, but subscribe for more in the future of how to not play video game.